Hey everybody, this is Casey on Wall to Wall Country, and I'm so very happy and proud to have on board a lovely lady. She's rubbed elbows with some of the greats, everybody from Keith Urban to Aretha Franklin. She's known for her time on American Idol and touring with American Idol Live. I personally voted for this girl myself because I thought she was awesome on the show. Please make welcome Miss Kree Harrison. Hey Kree, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Casey?
I am so excited to have you on the show today. And you've kind of had that whirlwind kind of life in the last couple of years. But I really want to focus on some of the newer things that are going on in your life. I mean, my goodness, have you woken up from the dream yet?
I mean, honestly, it's the whole process between Idol and then now has been kind of crazy. But I'm excited to finally have my first record out. So
yeah,
I'm awake from that for sure.
And now, so yeah, I mean, and this is a project that you've done a lot of work on. You've written a lot of them, or you've co-written all of them, some of them? Refresh my memory.
Yeah, 9 out of 13 songs I co-wrote, and then we, took some outside cuts of songs that I fell in love with. Yeah, so there's 13 on the record, and we went to Asheville, North Carolina, and tracked everything live. And it was a dream come true. I mean, this is my first record, and to make it, how I wanted was crazy.
Yeah. Now, this whole thing is a project that is called This Old Thing, and you've recently released one of the singles off of it, and it's called Dead Man's House.
Yes, it was a soft launch. We're going to release an actual single soon for radio. But yeah, Dead Man's House, I was one of the first songs that I had written for the record, and yeah, it's a fun song, and it's kind of, dark humor.
Now, did you have a part in writing this one? You were one of the co-writers to this one?
Yeah, I did. I actually had the idea, that title, for like 3 years before I brought it to that co-writing session with Mike Walker and Benji Davis, and it just came naturally. We wrote it in like an hour, and it was awesome, and it's got kind of a funky feel about the track, so it's one of my favorites.
Do you want to give us a little background, like when people are listening to it? What were you going for? Where was the inspiration for this, and what's the story you're trying to convey?
Well, my Aunt Penny was referring to my stepdad and basically said, he's just living in a dead man's house, which is absolutely the case. So that's where it all came about.
Okay.
I had that title in my pocket for a while and finally got to write it. So.
I find it interesting that that's one of the ones that you're releasing amongst 13, and it happens to be October, so it's it's kind of like...
That's true.
Halloween's right around the corner. You're talking about a dead guy. I don't know.
It's really good. Yeah, I'm good timing.
Yeah, perfect. Now, you've got a lot of other music on this album. Now, you said that the debut album, how can people get their hands on it? Is it out there for folks? Are you doing hard copies, electric only? What's the background with that?
Yeah, we're doing both. I mean, you can buy it on iTunes or Amazon. When I am playing shows, I am selling physical copies.
Okay.
And you can get them also on the website.
Okay. Awesome. So people can get their hands on it. When you're out there performing, Kree, and you're doing your songs and doing the whole live audience thing, are you finding, the connection with the stuff that you're writing with a little bit more intense than maybe, some other stuff that you've done in the past that wasn't your work?
I mean, not necessarily. I feel like with anything I sing, if I'm doing it, then I want to connect with it. So to portray that to the audience is honestly one of the things that I learned how to do on the show. So yeah, no, I don't think it's really different.
Okay. Can you? I'm sure you get these questions all the time, and I don't want to focus on your experience with American Idol. However, one thing I do want to is it something that does help you with the process? Have you learned a lot from some of the people that were your mentors on the show? People like Keith Urban and that. Are they still out there helping you?
Of course. I mean, I feel like Nashville's a very knit community, and it's I don't know. It's kind of a family-oriented town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody kind of helps everyone. But, yeah, as far as being on the show, obviously I've lived in Nashville for a long time, so I was no stranger to the fast-paced industry. But the show itself, I learned so much, not just from the people, but from just working my ass off. I mean, the work ethic, I've never worked that hard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule's crazy. And then also, I mean, seeing the live process, being backstage and seeing the crew and, what they do in wardrobe. I mean, it was just insane to watch. It's such a machine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it taught me a lot about that
mm-hmm.
part of it and work ethic. I wouldn't have it without that show.
Right. So that can help set things in motion.
Yeah.
People might think that they got it and they figured it out or whatever, but being on a massively produced show like that is something that can be an eye-opener and a way of life and a way to show you that that's the way of life if this is what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. It's like boot camp artists.
Yeah?
The best of ways, it really is. I mean, unless you're, if you didn't learn anything from Idol or those shows, The Voice or whatever is out there these days, you're not paying attention because it's definitely close
mm-hmm.
to the industry and either way, like you should want to learn about that stuff regardless if you're gonna take that route in your career or not.
I would think it also kind of solidifies the fact that I'm sure there were people who maybe tried out or got to a certain point and then maybe realized that's not for them. That's either it is or it isn't. Is that something that helped you solidify that this is what you want to do? I mean, you were like all the way up to the end.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that whole experience rocked my world, and I would do it again.
Oh, would you?
Sure, absolutely.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I said I'm not going to do it again. I'm just saying I would.
Oh, okay. If experiencing that, even though American Idol doesn't exist, I mean, there's other shows or whatever, but if you don't have that experience, what would be the words of advice you could give to someone who wouldn't have that opportunity, but that you think would be the most helpful to get them accelerated in their career?
I mean, just listen, honestly. Listen to your art and your surroundings and your elders and people around you. If you come in hot to a situation thinking that you've got it all figured out, then you absolutely do not.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I would just say, take advice and listen, honestly.
Cool. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice. Learn from people who know better.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Are you a social media bug? Are you out there with the social medias? Do you have time for that? If somebody's connecting with you about a song, is it something that you have time for, or is that, just part of the mesh of your life of the plate now?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely make time for it. More than anything, I love Instagram because I feel like rather than just talking about it, I see people and vice versa. They see what I'm doing, and I like the visual of pictures and videos more so than Facebook, to be honest. But yeah, I'm on all social media.
And if people ask a question or whatever, you're the person who's usually answering it, and they can communicate with you directly that way?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Good time.
Yeah. So are you, are you out and getting out onto the tour of trying to get this album out there? Is that some of the next immediate steps for Kree Harrison?
Definitely. Right now we are just booking shows left and right, and all of the shows that we'll have and tour dates will be on my website. So stay tuned, because I'm excited to play this record out.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to, if you ever get up to Northeast Pennsylvania, it's where we're located, and my doors for the radio station are always open to all of my artists. So just keep that in mind. You'd always feel free to swing by and play a little tune for us, and, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Love to see you.
I'd love to see y'all, too. I'd love to meet you, Casey. That'd be awesome.
I have to say, you've come up through the music industry, so it's not really probably been maybe as much of a struggle of people who are coming from outside of the industry and inside the industry. But can you tell us something that maybe caught you off guard, maybe was a little bit of a surprise through this process, even though you've been surrounded by this type of business your entire life? Is there one thing that kind of stands out?
I don't think so. As far as making the record, is that what you mean?
Well, just the whole experience of going from, doing what you were doing, and then the Idol, and then the rush of things of getting your new album out and your singles out. Is there anything that kind of caught you off guard, or was it all pretty comfortable, the entire process?
It was pretty comfortable because, to be honest, after the show, I knew better than to rush a record. So I took about 2 years.
Okay.
To figure out how I was going to make it and who with and what bands and where and the songs. So even that process wasn't rushed for me because I couldn't, bring myself to rush my first record. I didn't want to half-ass anything. So yeah, honestly, the only thing that ever caught me by surprise, like I said earlier, was just the live show, scene of everything. The only thing that I've ever been shocked by is that.
Okay.
As far as in the industry, which is crazy.
Yeah. Right, which is totally cray-cray, because especially people who are coming not prepared for that,
Totally. Yeah.
Might feel like a whirlwind, get them off their guard. But I think you're making smart decisions, even business-wise, to say, I don't want to rush anything. I want my product to be a good product, and I'm not gonna rush and put it out there until I'm comfortable with it and know that it's everything that's the best that you've produced at this point or up to this point. And I think that's a smart move on your part, Kree, to stick to your guns on that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really am proud of this record, and I hope people like it. I do.
Awesome. I know you're embarking on this promotional tour for it, but how about a look down the line without breaking any rules? Is there a wink, wink, nudge, nudge of something coming up for Kree Harrison that your fans can kind of look for? Is there something you can spill a little secret on?
To get on a great tour is the goal. So, we're definitely looking forward to that. And, there's not, too many secrets over here.
Yeah.
I'm like an open book. But, I do feel like there's going to be a lot of collaborations that will happen soon. And
working on any videos for any of the tunes you've got out there?
Definitely videos, yeah.
Okay.
We are choosing a single as we speak for a video and push for radio. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to make the video.
You don't have one as of right now. This would be your first on this new single that you're going to pick?
Yep.
Awesome. That sounds like a plan. I think that's always kind of interesting. I think that's something that a lot of artists I've talked to are like, the first video they ever did is something that might have caught them by surprise, because, that's very different from being on stage or performing live or anything. It's kind of a different animal. And I've had both sides. I've had artists say to me, "Oh, it was a piece of cake," and then I've had other artists say to me, "That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do." So
yeah, exactly.
So I look forward to seeing your videos and hearing more of your music and getting your music out there. We're gonna play some of your stuff out there and help you get a little bit more connectivity to our listening audience here at Penn's Peak Radio. But is there anything else you'd like to throw in there? I know I don't want to keep you too long, Kree.
No, you're good. I mean, honestly, just for people to get the record and let me know what they think and, you know, their favorites. That always helps when I'm picking a single. So,
oh, okay.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. And, you know, if you have the opportunity and you want to throw a couple of those CDs our way, we'd be glad to get them out to our listening audience here and spread it out. And that would be awesome, too, if you can make that connection. But listen, Kree, I love you to death. I did vote for you. I thought you were awesome on the show. I was a huge fan of American Idol for most of the years. Congratulations on all of your success, and I always wish you the best. I hope everything that you're pushing for and you're working for comes through. We're going to play some of the songs off this old thing, including Dead Man's House, to get people to hear it and talk about you for a little bit and get people going on and get onto your site. How can they reach out to you, Kree?
Just KreeHarrison.com or Instagram. Instagram's always me.
Awesome. And find other things on your website as well, as far as your tour and what you got going on. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate your time. Good luck to you, and keep us in mind if you're ever in Pennsylvania. Love to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.